What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So look, I just got done watching the Pivot podcast, watching them interview the professor from AND1, right? And I remember when AND1, like mixtapes first became like super popular, bro. Like kids in the hood was watching them all the time. Seriously, like we made superstars out of individuals like Hot Sauce and the professor and Air Up There and AO and all these individuals, Baby Shaq, so on and so forth. And I think the AND1 mixtape tour gave brothers hoop dreams like never before. Like it was brothers watching the moves that Hot Sauce did and the professor and thinking, if we imitate these moves, we can get looks to play basketball in the league, overseas, collegiately, so on and so forth. A ton of kids in America was trying to emulate these guys, right? And so, as an adult, people always wonder, because back in the day, it was this thing. People was telling people, telling AND1 players, that dude can play in the league. People were saying that he can play in the league. He can play in the league. He can play in the league. This one, that one, that one, that one. And y'all, it's a reason why AND1 players did not make it to the league, y'all. As an adult, grown man, I can see it clear as day. Like I'm watching my man Grayson Boucher, aka the professor, on the Pivot, and he's talking about how, bro, he couldn't even, like, he got cut from 2 JUCOs, and the only reason he got picked up on the last JUCO is because his father, a dude owed his father a favor, and he really politicked to get him on the team, and he was like, I only played like 3 minutes a game when I was even on the team for real, right? And as great as he looks in program runs and all of that, some guys are not meant to play. They're not good in in an organized game. They aren't. They can't do all of those. A lot of the moves they do are the moves they're doing is they're carrying the ball. It's carrying. It's traveling. They can't do that stuff in the league. More than ever, man, it's dudes in the NBA who have great lateral movement quickness, great defense, like great defensive abilities. They're not letting you do that shit on them. They're not. So you can try to do all this stuff all you want to. These dudes is know how to defend that extremely well. Like in the NBA, man, this NBA is top tier talent, and you really don't realize it again until you get older and you recognize these dudes in the NBA. Is dudes is on somebody's bench, buried on the bench. They can get somebody 50 in the dang on park. In the park, and whatever little program game, they get 50, 60 on dudes. Because they just really, that the talent level is just that far and wide from each other, from guys in the NBA and guys not in the NBA. It's that wide. Dudes like Reggie Evans that was just known for just getting rebounds. Reggie a dunk on you in the program. Reggie a cock it back. Reggie probably be out there looking like goddamn Shaquille O'Neal in the program. Right? And as high as the dudes jumped in AND1, it's dude like everybody can jump high. Everybody is athletic. A lot of dudes are strong. People are quick. You can't just go around these dudes that do this on a regular basis like you can a regular Joe Smo in the street. Or a dude that's really out here just not having real NBA practices and all of that. Them dudes and again, it's dudes in the league that's blunted out, that smoke a whole lot of blunts, but they are in NBA game shape. These dudes on the AND1 mixtape tour were not in NBA game shape at all. Some of them, as flashy as they were playing like 15 minutes a game, stuff like that. Like the league NBA dudes, top tier superstar players, these dudes playing 40 minutes at minimum. Playing 40 minutes a game. What the fuck? But these dudes are in the tip top shape. Again, peak condition. They've seen all type of defenses. They've seen all type of offensive players. You ain't doing that on them. Right? And again, it's a such thing as pro-am players and league players. It's dudes that can look great in pro-am games. If you put them in an organized situation, they look like a fish out of water. Because at this point, all that pulling the shirt over your head shit, all of that, and I'm not trying to disparage them, but it's a limit to all of that. I remember when Iman Shumpert, like in a little documentary, it's a piece where Iman Shumpert was talking about basically like, hey, like, Hot Sauce came to a pro-am and got his ass bust. They started calling him ketchup at the end of the damn game because he was getting torched and he was getting made to look silly. Like, I think the NBA it's a totally different game. The separation between the talent is immense. Guys are just to think about it now, right? A guy like Kyrie Irving, he got a flashy handle like a dude you might see in AND1. Kyrie can shoot. He can get around defenders. He can finish at the basket against any damn body. It's all these elite dudes that jump real high. He can finish at the basket against them. He has great court awareness. Just all he's quick, he's fast, all of that. Like dudes like it's dudes like him a regular. All these guards, Damian Lillard, Russell Westbrook, Derrick Rose in his earlier times, because I don't say prime because he never even reached his true prime in his MVP season, right? I'm thinking about guys like even a John Wall before the injuries, guys like goddamn Brandon Roy at one point. All these different type of elite players with these athleticism, and I'm talking about like supreme athleticism, and the quickest first step you'll ever see. Man, them dudes in the AND1 can't defend that. They cannot. Even the professor said he thought, even though the coach thought he had some little talent, he never thought he could defend anybody because of how small he was. He probably didn't have the best lateral quickness, none of that. So it wasn't going to work out, But yeah, man, and people I've heard previously, like the professor kind of blame why he didn't play. Not in this interview, but in previous interviews, he blamed why he didn't play on politics, so on and so forth. Let me tell y'all something, man. In collegiate athletics, coaches want to win. For the most part, most of the time, they're going to play you if you're nice like that. If you're really, really nice, they're going to play you because they can afford sitting you on the bench. They want to move up. They want to create better job opportunities for themselves. So they're going to play the dudes that's like that. The dudes that's going to get them a great chance of winning. So they ain't going to bury you on the bench if you're really not that good. So I just want to say that too. But yeah, man, a lot of the AND1 dudes, man, it's limitations to that. But it gave a lot of brothers hoop dreams. Even me, it gave me hoop dreams. I thought I could play collegiately or in the league if I can dribble like hot sauce. If I can put the shirt over the head like the farm, shit, I like crazy stuff, right? If I could dribble like the professor, if I could possibly jump high, like air up there and all this and all of that. And it's a lot of dudes that can jump high and dribble, but cannot really play organized basketball. And I mentioned that before, like guys like Jamario Moon who could jump to the literal moon, jump to the damn sky, and only lasted for a brief stint because he was not a great player in the offensive game. There's some dudes that they only practice one part of their game just so they can stand out enough and hope that they can stand out enough the way they can get a shot. Back in the day, some athleticism was enough to get guys a shot back in the day. Today, hell no. Everybody athletic in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? And even some of the guys that aren't athletic, like a Jokic. Jokic can defend players it's dudes that's athletic that can't fuck with Jokic. For real. Jokic give dudes problems even though he can't jump over a sheet of paper. So it's a reason why they could never fit in and find they couldn't get a shot in the league because either they were too small for the positions they played or, they just weren't quick enough. They weren't strong enough. They weren't as mentally tough. It's a lot of stuff that go into NBA games. Mental toughness, all that. A lot of them dudes may not be the most mentally tough guys. They aren't in the best shape. They aren't, they can't shoot at an NBA level. They can't defend, all these type of things I just mentioned. But yeah, man, a lot of people always say, oh man, this person in AND1 could have played in the league. I promise y'all. As much as the dudes, the NBA players used to come and watch AND1 players and all of that because it was fun to watch, because some of them dudes can dribble and do dribble moves they can't do. They knew they couldn't play with them like that. They knew that. In an organized game, it's certain dudes that's so official, you will lose your fucking mind. And again, some of them dudes get in there, Reggie Evans making them look bad. It's dudes at the end of the bench. When Cameron Payne was with the Bull, he was so damn trash. Cam Payne would have been lighting dudes up. Okay, it's dudes like I'm trying to think. Dude who I think is like Draymond and them. Draymond, Kendrick Perkins, them make dudes look silly in AND1 just because they're at a different level, man. It's levels to this, like Meek Mill says, level to this shit. So that's the reason why a lot of the AND1 dudes never got a shot in the NBA, because truthfully, they would have looked like fish out of water playing in the league. They wouldn't have survived. Machiavelli Mills TV. I'm out. Peace.